Good morning, lovelies. How are you all today? I do hope you are well. I am. I've got myriad chores, errands, etc. to get on with this morning, so I thought we might just hang out a bit today. Come along with me as I get on with things. Firstly, though, I'm going to empty the reservoir on my Polty iron. I don't think what it was called then, because in my head I was thinking, right, in a minute I can get the sewing machine out and set up for sewing. This is not a sewing machine, it's an iron. Now look, I've been asked a couple of times about this, about how to empty the reservoir afterwards, and I just want to say something for anyone who, we're on the wonk again, there we go, for anyone who might be thinking, ooh, dumb questions, whatever. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Well, actually there is. For example, if I said to you, I'm going out at 9 o'clock this morning, and then you said to me, what time are you going out this morning, Vivi? That would be a stupid question, because I've just told you. No, what I mean is, it's all very well, isn't it, if you've been taught to do something, shown to do something, you've seen someone else doing it, yeah. But what if you've never seen something? How are you supposed to know? You know, if someone said to you, how do you boil an egg? Don't laugh at them and think, well, that's a stupid question. Let's never laugh at anyone for their question, but rather give them the answer they need. How do you boil an egg? Well, and then off you go and tell them. So, I've been asked about this, so I'm going to quickly show you. So first, actually, let me tip you down a little bit. The first thing to say is, obviously, this, once it's full of water and turned on, and to create that steam, this is boiling, it's creating a massive amount of pressure in there, and that steam comes all the way along my pipe and goes into the iron for me to spits as I go. So it's under pressure. Therefore, when you come to empty it, you must wait for it to cool. I can't remember what the instructions said. I think it was 4 hours, possibly more. But never mind 4 hours. I leave mine overnight, well into the next day. So this was turned off yesterday afternoon about 4 o'clock. So the cap, it takes ages to unscrew because this is under so much pressure. I can't remember how many pounds per square inch PSI, but it's under a huge amount of pressure. So this is a real sort of heavy duty. Can you see it's all metal, heavy duty cap. Now, the first time I emptied it, I didn't empty it for ages. I just kept topping it and topping it and topping it. So the first time I emptied it, it shouldn't be so bad today. It had loads of calcium deposit in it. I live in a really hard water area, so I should have just said this fills with tap water, just ordinary tap water, but I do use their product called CalStop. I just use a half a tube because of my heavy water area, and then just on its side let it drain out. But yeah, the first time I did it, I hadn't been emptying it after every use. So, oh my goodness, the gunk that came out of it was, it was horrible. So now I don't empty it every single time, but for instance, if I'm having a sewing week, I don't empty it every day, because if I'm having a sewing week, I'm just moving it around to get the last little bits, hopefully. Yeah, if I'm having a sewing week, let me bring you back up so I can see you, to talk to you. I'll get there eventually. If I'm having a sewing week, the chances are that I'm using it on and off every day for 5 or 6 days. But then once I feel like, if I was doing the lavender bags, I finish a load of lavender bags, I think, right, great, I'm not going to do any more pressing for at least a week. Let's empty it and put it away after it's had an overnight to cool. So that's that. Right, talking of lavender bags, that's one of my first jobs today. They went on sale, I've had my orders, it's time to get them to the post office. Right, just going to think about my order of day. Make sure I don't forget anything. Parcels, that's my notes for when I'm out, granny trolley. I've got the table here, so when I was making up all the orders yesterday, I had my computer on one end of the table, packaging on the other, and then somewhere to put them once they're done, and it ended up, isn't that a happy basket? Isn't that a happy sight? So now that's all for, oh, I don't know whether I'm going to get that big one in. It's all for the granny trolley. These are the moments when I think I will be so happy to be shot of stairs in my life. Because once this granny trolley is full, then it's got to go downstairs. Oh, and hold on. I've had the heating on this morning, but I've been running around a bit, so I'm actually getting a bit warm, which is nice for a change. I had an email late last night, really quite late, as in 8:30, late as in the normal office working day, from my solicitor, and honestly it's like some kind of surreal Groundhog Day, some kind of, is someone actually playing jokes on me? Actually, come nearer so I can speak to you as I do this. My cheeks are getting pink. Oh my goodness, I don't know how to feel about things. I don't know how to think about things, because it looks like we're back on track. I think that email I did, I think that's all helped. But in the email last night, honestly, I was spitting feathers, and I think my solicitor is starting to spit feathers too, because she asked me she said, could I send a certain piece of documentation, a piece of evidence, and I said, for God's sake, I said, I sent it 3 times already. She said, I know. But they're saying that's the last thing they need from you. Can you please send it? So I did last night. I haven't heard back this morning. It's only, what's the time? It looks like 5 to 9. Is it 5 to 9? Just take my glasses off. So, I mean, I don't know what to think, I don't know what to feel at the moment, because, 1 minute it's like, no, this isn't going to happen, everything's wrong, and then it's like, oh no, we're back on, oh now we'll do it, but we want this from you. I just feel like I want to go up to the solicitors and say, what do you want? What do you want from me? Just tell me once and for all what you want from me, and I'll give you everything again, absolutely everything, that I've already given you things 2, 3 times, 4 times on some occasions. So the reason I don't know what to think or feel is that I feel like I've been in this position before, where they've said, yeah, we're nearly there, just one more thing. Just one more, and it seems like there's always just one more thing, and the one more thing is something we've already done. It's just horrible, and the window is getting smaller and smaller and smaller to do this before the new stamp duty law rules thing kicks in at the beginning. I think it's from April the 1st, so we have to get this done before April the 1st, because if it goes into April, then suddenly stamp duty kicks in, and I'll have a £2,500 bill that I saved for it. I did save for it, but obviously, because things got moving so quickly last September, I thought, this is brilliant. I won't have to pay stamp duty because we're well ahead, and that's great. I can use it on, you know, stuff I'm going to need to do inside the flat. Anyway, yeah. I don't know what to I don't know what to say at the moment. I don't know whether, is it good news, is it bad news, is it no news, is it just that I'm on this hamster wheel that I can't get off and it's going to slowly drive me insane. So anyway, that was last night, and you know, like I said, it was about 8:30, and I don't know if my solicitor was working from home and had started her day later, but bless her, it's 8:30. But actually, I had the computer on. I normally would like to have it turned off by then, but I had it on because I was taking orders, because I just put all the lavender bags out again. And it's the kind of email I really wish I hadn't seen it so late in the evening, because I shouldn't have opened it, but you know, who's not going to open an email when it's about that? Yeah, I wish I hadn't opened it, or wish I hadn't been so late, because then it was on my mind for the rest of the evening. Never mind, and still this morning. Right, am I going to be able to do trolley and parcel and do that under one arm? I won't be able to use my stick, but that's okay, because the granny trolley will act as a bit of a stick for me. Right, let's off we go, because when I'm at the post office I also want to make an inquiry with them about printing costs. So let's just get on and get things done this morning. Obviously I forgot my list. I had a great long list to bring out with me this morning, so I've just stepped off the high street a minute just to remember everything I'm supposed to be doing. So post office, check, including I was asking about document printing. I'll talk about that when I'm home. To the bank to get my cash out. Actually, the post office, oh my goodness, it was best part of 60 quid. Bank for cash. Next, I must go to the corner shop to top up my Oyster card, because tomorrow I've got to go to hospital for my annual breast check, because of, you know, family history of breast cancer, so I get seen every year. So just thinking in advance, right, top up Oyster card so I can do my buses tomorrow. What's next? Oh, I know, I need to go to the train station. First, I'll see if I can get my camera out as well. I'm going to go to my Turkish supermarket. I'm just going to quickly grab a tin of beans of some description to chuck into my lunch. I've got batteries to drop off at the battery recycling. I think that's it. I know I'm going to get home and remember something that I was supposed to do that I forgot, but I'll remember once I'm home. Right, come on, let's see if I can sneak you into the Turkish supermarket. Oh my goodness, it's foodie heaven. On the other side is the fridge and oils, but the fridges have broken, they're scrabbling. So over here I've got all the dried stuff. And I can get big sacks, bigger sacks, rices, all the different beans, black eyes, black beans, light red kidney beans, crab eye beans, brown beans, what's that, honey beans, cowpeas. I tried growing those one year, they didn't work very well for me. But yeah, everything you could possibly want in terms of dried food, all different sizes. If you only want a small bags or boxes. Sometimes you can't read the writing. It's fine, but yeah, chickpeas, zucchini, black eye, white kidney beans. They're almost verging on being fasolada. Mung beans, brown lentils, and then obviously as you come down the packets get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they get more economical, so you can buy big sacks of rice. Oh, they look good. That's broad beans. Ooh, I have a hankering. I don't want to get dried today though, because it's a last minute decision, so I'm not going to be able to soak. Yeah. Oh, look at that couscous. Yeah, everything. everything you possibly want. And then, like I said, you can get them in really little packets if you don't need to buy much. Over here, I don't come, pickles. Every possible pickle that you can imagine. Yuck, gherkins. This is the Polish department, but down there are all the tomatoes. Yeah, all the tomatoey things. So, and I can get organic here as well. Right. Oh, what's that? I do like a pretty tin. What is that? Oh, it's harissa. Is it harissa? Is it tomatoes? Anyway, what have I come for? Beans. And along here, similar, more dried goods, but this is more your snacks and nuts and things. So big bags of cashews, almonds, sunflowers still in their shells. Right, what are we after? Oh, and also I come here for squeezy through this entire wall. That's all herbs and spices. Fantastic. Right, let's find a tin of beans. And this is where I get my çörek bread, but I wait for it to be day old. And we have to ignore Turkish delight and baklava, and ignore all the olives. Which do we want? Not the ones with gherkins, certainly. Right, I'm going to put you away for a second. Oh, stop the clock. That's all my errands done. It's about an hour and 10 minutes. But that whole time I'm on my feet moving around, so I kind of think, well, it's a bit of exercise as well, isn't it? Only 2 bump intos on the high street today, both very brief. On both occasions, it's friends like, I'm on my way to the train station, I'm on my way to catch a train, so they didn't stop and chat. I do have another parcel to make up. I might get back to the post office today, I'm not sure. Oh, these poor guys at the Turkish market. So I've come away with just some, let me grab them out of the trolley, just ordinary, oh, my knees are going to start to ache now. Just some ordinary white, what did I go for in the end? White beans, because, yeah, just ordinary white beans. 79 pence. They have all the beans. They have a massive range of tinned beans in the Bayona organic ones too, and they're all about, they range from 150 to 180-ish. But, and this is why I say poor guys, there's a whole wall all down one side of the shop. It's refrigeration, so cheeses, so many different cheeses, really lovely cheeses, and yogurt, a lot of yogurt, and you can get massive vats of it. It's all plain, it's all very plain stuff. And then towards the end of the aisle there's, you know, the usual culprits of tara salata, hummus, aubergine dip, and some pre-packaged olives as well. The entire refrigeration system has gone kaput. It's going to cost them, I mean, it's going to cost them to get it repaired. It's going to cost them in terms of, I hope all that stock, they can get it into the back area where they've obviously got refrigeration for stock, so they can save it at least. But obviously their sales will be down in the next few days because of that. But while I was there, and this is why I've ended up with these and not the Bayona ones, is all the shelving within the refrigeration. It's these sort of metal shelves, like on adjustable brackets. So they're taking all of that off so they can get to the gubbins, I guess, of the refrigeration, so they can, I don't know if they're going to try and fix it or what, but all of those metal shelves, they were being stacked up everywhere and anywhere, and they were completely covering the Biona beans. So I've ended up with just white beans. But anyway, I hope, I'm always a bit shy when I'm always shy filming when I'm outside of the house. So I was speaking really quietly. I don't want to sort of be intrusive to other people, but also one is always mindful of other folk out and about their privacy and not getting people on camera and all that. But either way, I hope you enjoyed a quick little nosy into my Turkish place, and you can probably see from that little bit why I'm so fond of it. So all those errands are done. I've had a bit of exercise. That's great. It's heading for sort of 10:30. I'm actually going to make my lunch now, even though I'm not going to eat it. I'm going to get it made and done and out of the way. I'm going to use some leftover broccoli. I've got leek. I've got some leftover swede. And I'm going to use a bit of mustard again because I liked it in that other recipe. But then I'm going to put a tin of beans in there too, just to, ramp it up on for a day. Actually, I just make this point about soups. Quite often, if I made tomato soup and someone will say, oh, where's the protein? You need protein. And I can tell you for a fact that the entirety of my entire family are meat eaters. I'm the only one. They will often have tomato soup for lunch. And then they'll have a protein-rich meal in the evening. So, it doesn't have to be protein-rich every single meal, just so long as throughout the day we're getting enough. But I like to have soups with beans or lentils in available, so that on days, if my evening meal is a little bit protein light, I can make sure I have a beany, lentil-y lunch, if that makes sense. Right, that's done. So I'll do that in a second. And then, I'm just going to go, it's a show and tell moment. I'm going to get the sewing machine back out. It's in the way of my cupboard. Just put these away for safekeeping. Oh, sorry, bending in a weird position. Bending double. Because I just don't know what's happening with this blimming move. It's just horrible. It's so disconcerting. I thought it's a bit tricky to get really stuck into a project, because what if I get the call tomorrow that they say, right, we're all systems go, it's happening, let's pick a date, and it's 2 weeks from now. Then obviously I'm going to be busy for 2 weeks organising the move. But what if it's not for 2 months? So that's how my brain is at the moment. But what I can do, which isn't too deep a dive, is I've got a load of fabric cut. This is so cute. Let me show you this. I bought this fabric ages ago. I bought it as a sort of a vintagey bit. Isn't that sweet, with pansies on? So you can see it's already cut. What I can do in the meantime, I've got this one cut, hold on, that's inside out. That one. And then this is a really strong one. I think this will go well with the pansies. Let me show you these together. Pink, but let me show you. Oh yeah, they'll work. They'll work together beautifully. So I thought, well, I can at least make the pennants. Here's one I made earlier, a little yellow polka dot, because that also, let me show you with the pansies, that will also go with the pansies because of the yellow. And with the bunting, I do tend to go for quite strong, bright colours, because usually it's outside, it can take that brightness from the light. So yeah, I thought what I might do for the foreseeable is literally just make pennants. Not put them onto the, I'm paying my penance, so not put them into the webbing, because the webbing is it's really robust webbing I use. None of this using a bit of bias binding and it snaps with the first breeze, but it makes it quite hard to fold up. So yeah, I'm just going to get on with making pennants and pennants and pennants and pennants, and then once this move, please God let it happen. Let's say this move happens, then, I mean, obviously once I've moved, I'm going to be really, really busy with the house because it needs a lot of work. But I can say to myself, well, you know what, one day a week at least, I can start to sew up bunting. Now, I've just returned, and this has been posted whilst I'm out. I'm just going to open it. I mean, it's thick enough to be something important, like, I mean, to do with the house move, as in, like, are we moving forward? What is this? Ah, brilliant. Ah, right, okay. So it's not from my solicitor. It's one of my banks. It's the bank that I do the banking for the entire building. So I kind of act as treasurer, and I've done it all online. So this is 3 years worth of statements going back. Because even though I could provide all of these online for whoever, it's still like, oh no, we want one more thing we want you to jump through one more hoop. So that's, what day is it today? That's taken, I rang them on Monday last week. So that's taken Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So it's, yeah, 7 working days. They did say it would be about 7 working days. Great. I don't really want to have all this paper in my life, but there we go. So now I can satisfy them. Oh yes, talking of documents, one of the other things I did whilst I was out, and it's always this thing of, it pays to shop around. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, I don't have time to this, that and the other, or for the saving you're talking about, I've written it down, for the saving that you're talking about, oh, is it really worth it? But you know what? Anyone else out there who's frugal will know that every penny you save, yes, it is worth it, because this thing today is a saving of £4.50. Now, if I was to do this every day, if I did this 5 days a week, that would be £22.50 saved. I wouldn't be doing this 5 days a week, but let's say I did. If I saved through shopping around, I managed to save £5 every day. Over the course of a week, that's £35. In a month, it's going to be 150, 160 odd. Yes, it's worth it. And then that saving, don't spend it on a treat. Put it in your savings so that you can then afford the big thing further down the line, like a new home, for example. So what I was shopping around for today was to get documents printed. So I've seen, that's the lesson learned in this throughout this whole period, is this having physical documents. There is something I want to get printed. I don't need it for selling. I don't need it for selling and buying, but it's something I think I'm going to need for my next home. So I thought, well, think about it now. If this next home happens. Actually, I got quite warm doing all that. That's good, isn't it? And let's say my document was 20 pages long. So I was asking about going with a USB stick. I've learned what it's called now, not a lipstick, Vivi, a USB stick. Taking my document on a USB stick and getting it printed elsewhere. I asked at the library, but they don't allow printing from a USB stick or from a personal laptop. I guess it's to do with a virus getting into their system. So that was a no-go. So I asked, we've got a branch of Snappy Snaps. It's a photography place. And I hardly expected them to, but I said, look, I know you print photographs, but do you also print documents from a USB? And he said, yes. They have an admin fee of £1.50, and then it's 50 pence per sheet. 50p a sheet. So my 20 sheet document at Snappy Snaps would cost me, sorry, I'm glancing down because I've written my figures down, it would cost me £11.50. And I asked at the post office, and they said, yes, we do. And they charge £1 for the admin, as opposed to £1.50. And they charge 30p a sheet, rather than 50p a sheet. So if I do it at the post office, it will cost me £7. So 7 instead of £11.50. I mean, it's still a chunk of money, isn't it, for 20 sheets of paper, £7. But until I can find a printer that I can hardwire into my computer, I will never ever buy a wireless printer ever again. Never, ever, ever. Anyway, so that will suffice. And I suppose now that I'm getting things sent as paper versions, what's that? Is it important? It's my list from earlier that I forgot to take out. Oh, did I forget anything? No, I didn't forget anything. Yeah, hopefully, you know, in future, I won't really need to print much documentation, because from now on, I'm going to get paper versions. So I think rather than fork out to buy a printer, then tear my hair out and swear at it because I can't get it to work, even though I've spent 24 hours trying to make it work. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, Printergate. And then a fortune on cartridges, and then 2 days after you put the cartridge in, it says your cartridges run out. And it's, you know what, it's, to me, printers are some kind of version of hell torture. And frankly, I'd rather occasionally have to spend £7 to get a document printed at the post office than go through the hell of living with a printer that hates me. Every time I walk past it, it bites me. Anyway, right, so I've got sewing to get on with. I'm going to do get food made, and then I'm going to probably do about 2 hours of, I've got admin-y stuff to do. I've got emails and things to answer and some phone calls to make. I'll do that. Then I can have lunch. And then for the rest of the day and into the evening, I will sew. What I will do is until about 7 o'clock, I will sew. About 7:30, have supper. 8 o'clock, I'll finish supper, wash up. Then from 8 till... I think tonight... I don't know which video to watch now, which DVD. But basically, by the time I have sewn my... Because they're double-sided, but that's a made one. Double-sided. Once it's sewn right sides together, it then has to be turned out and have its little point poked out, and then I press it. So I'm not going to press them, but I can certainly sit with them on my lap, turning and poking whilst I watch a DVD. So that will be a long but productive day, and that chunk from 8 till 10 or 8:30 till 10:30 when I'm watching a DVD, even though I'll be doing a bit of work, it'll be so relaxing. It'll be lovely. Now I'm getting chilly. All right, lovelies, I think I better shut up, hadn't I? And I will see you all again soon. And honestly, I honestly wish I could tell you something definitive about this house move situation. But I can't. I wish I could tell you, because if I could tell you something definitive, that would mean that I would be out of this misery of not knowing. And I want to be out of this misery, you know. So when I still occasionally get comments from people being snippy with me, going, "Oh, you know, I'm sick of watching this. I'm sick of this." And it's like, if you're sick of it, imagine what it's like actually living it every single day. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but that's just how I was going to say British. It's not in Scotland. The English and I think Welsh house conveyancing stuff goes. It's just what it's like here. Stupid. All right, I'm feeling hungry. Yeah, Let's start making lunch. It's too early to eat though, but I might have an apple. You don't need to know that. I'll see you again really soon. Until then, please look after yourselves and have fun when you're out and about, and you know, when you're shopping around for your best deals that you can get. And you know, if you're like me, you've got a Turkish market, it's always fun to, generally when I go there, I know what I want and I go to the shelf and I get the thing that I want. But every now and again, it's fun to take a little bit longer and have a really good look around at other stuff and think, I wonder what that is. I wonder what that tastes like. Maybe I will dare myself to try something new. It's kind of like being on holiday when I go over there. I've got to go. See you soon for the next one, whenever that may be. Until then, cheerio.